Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel, or welcome for the first time if you've not been here before. So I'd just like to say first that I make this video with respect to people on both sides of the fence. Whichever side you sit on regards to the Nicola Bulley case, let's all try to respect each other's opinions on something that has dominated so many people's lives for so many weeks. No one has asked for this case to be thrust at us. It invited itself into our lives. There's something on my mind, and I'm hoping that maybe someone out there can shed some light on it, and that can maybe help me and other people understand a little bit better. Does anybody know when Nicola Bulley's autopsy is complete and when it'll be released to the public? I've looked on the internet, I've had a good search around, and I can't seem to find any information about the autopsy anywhere. I'm just wondering if anybody else has found any information about it yet, and if so, if they could share that. Like I said, I've looked, I've Googled, and I can't see anything about an autopsy. Now, I did think that we would all know the results of the autopsy by now, with it being such an incredibly high-profile case. But obviously, I'm no expert in this field by any means, and I don't actually know how it works. So again, I'm wondering if anybody else out there knows more about it. How long do autopsies take? Does anybody know? Does anybody work in this field that could shed any light on this with me and with anybody else who's interested to know? We have not yet been told if this was a suicide, an accident, or foul play yet. When do we find out about this? Will the family already know how she died? And does anybody know if Nicola's body has been given back to her family yet? Now, I have discovered online, and I did read the following post that was dated on the 22nd of February, and it was from the Daily Record, and I quote, "Nicola Bulley's body is to be released so her family can hold her funeral. The coroner leading the inquest into her death has said." I'll say that again. "Nicola Bulley's body is to be released so her family can hold the funeral." And that comes from the coroner leading the inquest into her death. Now, does this mean that the autopsy is complete? I wasn't aware that you could give bodies back until an autopsy is complete. So does that mean it is complete? Now, if anybody can give some information on this, that would be great. I'm quite confused as to why Nicola's body has been given to the family, yet we don't actually know what's happened to her yet. Now, this story dominated the news every day for weeks and weeks. It was rammed down our throats, but it has just seemingly disappeared from mainstream media. I'm not really seeing much about it on the news anymore. And even when you Google it, you just get posts and threads and stuff from a couple of weeks ago. I'm not finding that much at all. And it appears that the commentary on the case is only coming from social media. Now, why is this? I would have thought that the cause of death would be known by now. And it is definitely in the public's interest. And it's actually the public's right to know how she died. The longer that we don't know what actually happened, then the longer the public speculation will go on for. And I do think that people want an end to that now. Now, there's so many people that are still speculating, and they're pointing out what they see as red flags. They're sharing their theories online with what they think may have happened. And there's also a lot of people saying, stop speculating, let the family rest, and that it's disgusting to point out the red flags and to theorise on what happened, and that people need to apologise. But we don't have any information at all on how she died yet. So how can people be expected to be silent and stop thinking and theorising about what happened? Why should people be expected to apologise right now? I don't understand what people are expected to apologise for just yet. A body being found in the river doesn't actually prove anything. Hence the desire for myself and for many others to know the truth. Now, I made my own videos with my suspicions and my opinions on the case, and I am more than willing to apologise if my suspicions are proven to be ill-founded. I said I would do this, and I will honour that. But how can I, or anyone else for that matter, do that at this moment in time, with no information available on how she died? Now, I took down some videos that I made, and I did that for personal reasons, and I can assure you it's nothing to do with YouTube removing them, because they simply haven't removed them. I personally made the choice myself to do this, and whether people choose to believe that or not, that's their prerogative. Now, not many people are buying that she just turned up in the river 3 weeks later, a mile away from the bench next to a road / lay-by that was extensively searched by the police and underwater search teams. Now, if this is indeed an accident or suicide, isn't it in the family and the police's interest to share this information with us to stop the speculation and to put this case to bed? We all want the truth for Nicola, for her family, and for her children. Now, if it is just an accident or suicide, then share it with us all and shut everybody up that's theorising. But that hasn't happened yet. We've got no information. And I would think that the police would want us to know immediately what had happened to stop the speculation if there was no foul play involved. Now, everybody has a right to an opinion, to ponder, to wonder, and to vocalise on what they think has happened. Because right now, the public don't know what has happened, as we haven't been told anything about the cause of death. And equally, people can express their opinion on people theorising and on people speculating, and they're allowed to say and think, she's been found in the river, it's clearly an accident or suicide. You're allowed to say that, you're allowed to think that. Both viewpoints are acceptable. But the fact of the matter is, we don't know the truth yet. How can people expect a case that was so massive and so publicised, with so many moving parts, and with so many things that don't add up or make sense, to just stop talking about it because she was found in the river? Does this mean there was no foul play? Does this mean that the police and underwater search team missed her the whole time? Does this mean it was an accident or suicide? It doesn't prove any of that. It just makes people still wonder what's going on and what happened. Until we know from the autopsy report what happened, people will have their thoughts, suspicions, and opinions on the case. And it's not fair to shut people down because they share their views on this. Now, if you look at it this way, hundreds and thousands of people go missing every single year. But is there thousands of people speculating and wondering what's happened online? No. And why? Because there wasn't headline news every day for nearly 3 weeks about them. There wasn't 3-hour Sky News specials and 75-minute long programmes on mainstream TV at 9 p.m, which is a huge slot. on television. But in this case, in the case of Nicola Bulley, that did happen. People have their views because it's been rammed down our throats from the beginning. So why do people get upset that people are sharing their thoughts and their opinions on it? People shouldn't be silenced, as this would be a very slippery downward slope for society. If you just take a step back for a moment and look at how this case has absolutely ruled the country for weeks and weeks on end, and it's become the epicentre for a lot of people's lives, and it's actually took over a lot of people's lives, it's obviously going to cause people to talk about this, no matter what side of the fence you sit on. People will have their thoughts on it, but the sooner we know what happened, the quicker people can stop speculating. I think it's safe to say that everybody wants and deserves to know the truth now. No matter what side you sit on with this, whether you think it was a suicide or an accident, or whether you think there was foul play involved, we all just want the truth. And I think that's something that we can all agree on. Nobody wants this case to drag on forever. Now, respectful comments and opinions from all angles and all sides will be available to see and to reply to, so people can discuss. But any abusive comments will be removed. Now, I've sat with this video and with what I'm going to say for quite a while now, making sure to not offend or upset anybody. And I think that's clear to see. We just want the truth now, so that everybody can move forward. Thank you, and have a nice day.